Hello, one and all. My name is Professor Urmi Chakravorty, and I'm an educator. I'm an assistant professor. I help future business leaders and media enthusiasts pursue their dreams of better PR and organizational behavior. I'm into this profession since more than 10 years now, and I'm glad and honored to be a part of this industry. Firstly, before starting my talk, I would like to congratulate the entire team of TEDxSIESGST, right from the curators to organizers to people who have been, in the core committee team, from logistics to design, every single person who is involved in this beautiful endeavor. Great job, guys. As I say this, I also know that how difficult it is to set up something in a given span of time with, of course, people all over keeping busy with different networks, different Wi-Fi speeds and whatnot. I also congratulate to the entire teaching fraternity and staff members of the institution for organizing and giving us the honor of, being on board. And I take this privilege of sharing my heartiest congratulations to the entire team. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for having me on board and giving me a chance of sharing what I feel and how I feel about my topic on robustness and adaptability in academics post the pandemic and how we fight back. The pandemic has affected our education system badly due to the total closures of schools and colleges of more than 3 months now. And the institutions, the slow pace of change in academic institution globally is lamentable. With centuries-old lecture-based approaches to teaching entrenched in institutional biases, outmoded classrooms. However, COVID-19 has become a catalyst for educational institutions worldwide to search for innovation solutions, relatively in a very short period of time. So everyone rushed to create an online world, a bubble, if you may, where you can sit in the comfort of your home and work and study. But little did we realize that the lack of preparedness we had for this event. To be honest, just like the backbenchers who, comes to an exam prepared with a wrong subject, the types, right? I'm sure you guys know. There's always a special person who says, "Arey, aaj science tha kya?" Similarly, we caught off guard. We tried to catch up with technology, but we could not do. When it comes to infrastructure or technology or internet or speed, yes, we have come across, but when it comes to outdated and ancient or traditional methodologies or pedagogies, we are like the Bastons and Robbins with all the 31 flavors, yet like the Apple App Store. There's an app for that, there's an app for this. From low internet speeds, power cuts, shouting matches of the neighbors, and the children who suddenly don't look cute anymore, but solidaire on, as they say. But in today's scenario, the online process is encouraged. But again, the challenge is having access to or the availability to devices to utilize various resources. Low internet connectivity. Nuclear families apparently with limited availability of resources, which is being shared by all. Working parents, the internet as a resource is being shared as well. Slow net speed, power outages, most of the times, the weather conditions, rains, whatnot. There are times which are making things very difficult, in fact worse. Virtual challenges, I'm sure many of you would agree with me that the virtual challenges are more. What made this difficult is not the pandemic. Yes, boss, it is not the pandemic. I said it. What made this difficult is, probably our ability to adapt. Yes, We are, honestly speaking, we are the creatures of habit. We are so used to living in the system that we do not want to even try changing it. To prove my point, what is the discussion currently you come across now every single time? Okay, when it comes to education. When will the school opens? When will the educational institutions open? When will we take admissions in the college? What is next? Career. When will things be fine? Not once. Or we also call it, this is a disaster. Like we say, this is a disaster. What is happening? Why is happening? This is the right time. We would have taken admission. There are so many things planned and we are not able to do anything. Not once basically you hear a single soul saying that let's just learn from the disaster and build apparently a new system that can ensure safety and better learning. Not once. Yeah, of course, there are some institutions and institutions who have definitely tried going online and help students learn, in more creative manners or angles or aspects. But this is merely a band-aid, not a solution. Not at all. The way 2020 has treated us, just imagine if suddenly the electric grid fails due to a snag, what will happen to our online world? Yeah, I repeat, just imagine suddenly the electric grid fails due to a major snag. What will happen to our online world? Along with some of the interesting initiatives, as I told you, few institutes did make it very easy for the students in contributing even the eradication which we all are facing or going through some online apps, research, creating a better space and pace for all. But it is very widely and wisely said, necessity is the mother of all inventions. What this pandemic has taught us or did was simply reinvent the wheel. Yes, can you guess it? It's the online education, correct? Online education has been with us for a while now, but somehow we consistently fail to realize the value of it or see the value in it. And that was the chink in the armor. Now the same raised eyebrows and doubtful faces have realized that this is the way forward. Yes, they did. Many who thought that this is just a way of, probably a waste of time, this is not how education will work. Apparently, the entire teaching fraternity, boss, is just with their arduous efforts, have made sure that there's a regular interaction with the students. Students are encouraged to join these interactions. Of course, those occasional guest lectures, which you all sit with the phones in the hands, research during the lectures, right? But jokes apart. This has also made it possible to interact with people who are otherwise simply not available due to their time schedules. Yes, the networking has probably gone strong. COVID-19 has changed the global education landscape in matter of months, and it has suddenly raised many questions that otherwise never get raised. This pandemic has challenged the value system. Let me explain. Imagine you're studying the engineering for 4 years to specialize in a field. Now the advent of online courses, a lot of specializations like these specializations have become available at a fraction of the cost. I don't say that all are the cutting edge or better than the college education. I never said that. But a lot of them are. You are all engineers and science students, you do the math. Slowly and surely, this is the next big question which will be put forth. So do we even have the answer? Clearly no. Clearly no. This point is this is a sign, possibly even from God. Let me just put it across that way. That, this is the time for us to change. And change for the better. It is time to break the chains of the traditional systems and make way for the future. Why I say this? Just imagine the system we have created. Our entire system across the globe is designed to create drones. Yes, drones and jacks or all trades. Unfortunately, our system makes us a master of none. A clear proof of what is found in the IT industry, my dear friends, where you see bright mechanical engineers, they're writing code. So do they even ask themselves why, or have they lost the love of creating machines? So this is the time to make education focused and value added. It's time we stopped producing drones and start probably producing experts. So to conclude our perspective, it remains the same. Will today's situation revolutionize the online learning in India? The ongoing pandemic has surely accelerated the pace of remote learning, and many positive outcomes are expected in the future for upscaling, mentors, the students, heralding a new era of the sustainable learning system. Key online portals, there are many to name: Swayam, Virtual Labs, Fossey, eYantra, Microsoft Education. They all have gone apparently 5 times up. Blended learning will basically change the entire ecosystem and traditional educational institutions. Almost all world-class institutions have MOOC providers like Coursera, Open Culture, Skillshare, Udemy, others, which all together have probably jumped off this foray of making the best use of this opportunity. Almost every institution has offered various virtual vocational courses, and it is very heartening to note that remote learning across the globe in the form of distance education mode is already a popular option for many students for reasons such as locational flexibility, convenience of time, as well as the study schedule for people who are working at a very reduced cost. Yes. So yes, India too is ready for the virtual learning and exploring. So as they say, it might be tough for apparently a teacher and a student, but it is never impossible when we speak about our learnings. So what we basically learn from this is surely a blessing in disguise. How, you may ask? Well, it's time to break the traditions, isn't it? The next logical question is how. So this is how. It is about we let go of that age-old method of making everyone learn everything. If MOOCs have probably proven something, is that it's learning. Its learning can be broken down into smaller pieces, or rather into specialized places or pieces. Second, of course, learning need not be expensive. Again, going back to several courses which are just up there for you guys. Imagine if one can learn a course by spending a few hundred, then why do you have to spend lakh for joining a college? Or I definitely see a few eyebrows going up and rising up there. Let me clear this out. The idea is not to replace school or the colleges. The idea is to make it more meaningful and targeted. Why force everyone to learn things they don't want to learn and burden the mind? Still not clear? Okay, let me give it in a better way. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. What is the moral here? Not everyone is suited to do everything. And secondly, people who blindly follow are destined to make the same mistake again. So it's the time we change, and change with the future in mind. If we are to succeed and become the world leader, it will not happen if we do the same thing which we have been doing, or do everything what the others are doing. Else, we need to carve our own path with specializations in mind, or with an ecosystem that breeds creativity. That's all from my end, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for hearing me out with utmost grace and lending an ear to my speech. Thank you once again, the team of TEDxSIESGST, for having me on board and giving me the privilege of sharing what I feel. I hope all of you stay safe, take care of yourselves, and always stay happy. Keep learning.